What going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. It's your boy Swipa, and we got my man's Gifted back in action, back ready to talk about what happened with the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 2, and also do a nice little preview for Game 3 as well. I'm not gonna lie, Gifted. So you weren't here last night, but yesterday after the game, you had a space you were doing, and I never go on spaces before I record. Never. Because, I want to get the content out. I want to make sure that I got everything I need and all this other stuff. But bro, last night I was so in awe of what happened with Jamal that I got in your space. Like I was freaking out, and then we came and did the show, bro. And I couldn't even get to the basketball part because I was stuck on what I just saw, bro. So it was crazy, Gifted, man. What are even your thoughts after watching yesterday's game? Just your overall general thoughts on the game.
Yeah, man, last night was crazy, bro. Every game I watch with a lot of people in our Discord every night, and I was watching this game man, it was such a roller coaster because early foul trouble for KCP, MPJ throughout the game, a lot of bad calls from the refs on both ends. And in that fourth quarter, it felt like LA controlled the pace of the game for most of it. But then that fourth quarter, Jamal Murray woke up and gave us one of the best playoff performances that I've seen. I mean, he went into that fourth quarter 3 of 15 and finished the game 11 for 24, 6 of 7 shooting in the fourth quarter. I know that off the top of my head because I literally just did a video on it, but it was outstanding to watch, right? It was really good hoops. Really good hoops.
Yeah, I mean, bro, so I live tweet during Nuggets games, and I'll delete a lot of them afterwards just because I literally just put my thoughts on the timeline, and then it's stuff that is just me talking, then I'll just get rid of it. But basketball stuff I'll keep up there or something. And bro, at one point in the third quarter, I was so agitated with Jamal. Cause bro, you remember there was that. He started the third quarter off. The Nuggets were only down 5. And Jamal got lost on the screen versus Austin Reeves. And then Reeves hit a wide open 3-pointer. He got lost on a cutback and then gave up a 2-pointer. And I'm just like, bro, what is he doing, bro? And then, he was just lollygagging. And then on top of that, he's hands on his knees. He's bent over tired and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro. Jamal, it's the Western Conference Finals, bro. Can you please not do this right now? But again, I know, he's battling ear infection and all that. I get it. But Bruce Brown was coming in the game and he was cooking. And at one point in the third quarter, I was like, man, if you ain't ready to get, hey, bro, Jokic, Porter was playing well. Bruce Brown started playing well. Hey, roll with those guys right now. If you got your Jamal, catch your breath, do what you need to do. But, bro, man, that man came back into the game in the fourth quarter, bro. Put that little left-hander up over LeBron. 23 points. 23 points in the fourth quarter, bro. And let me ask you this. So the Lakers have been throwing multiple coverages at Jamal throughout the series so far. They've been going over the top a lot. They've been going underneath some. They ran drop versus Jamal when he's in the mid-range area. They have tried to run him off of the pick and roll altogether by staying attached to his body, just getting him away from Joker and making him reset. Do you feel like the Lakers were deploying a good defensive system versus Jamal? Or did he exploit a weakness? What were your thoughts on even how he was able to get going?
I feel like the fourth quarter was just a testament to just shot making that we all know Jamal Murray has inside of him. I feel like for the first 3 quarters, Vandal was actually doing a pretty solid job on Jamal. Mm-hmm. I felt like some of his shots he rushed, but he still showed excellent footwork on his turnaround layups in the paint and things of that nature. But in the fourth quarter, leaving Jokic in the game, I think allowed Jamal to naturally find his flow. And the biggest part is after Jokic hit the bench, Jamal just got a chance to fully cook. And once he was hot, I mean, he was making shots to where he was here and he purposely stepped back for 3. And he was just in that flow, in that mode. So to me, the defensive coverages when it comes down to that level of shot making and balance Jamal had, didn't really matter because he was in that type of zone in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. So, the Lakers started off the game. So game one, or game two rather, walking through the first quarter. The Lakers start off the game, man, and they clearly had an intention that they wanted to attack and get to the rim, and they were being. So here's the difference. They were being physical, but they were being Lakers physical. Like Lakers physical, like they were aiming at a lot of the ticky-tack stuff, and the Nuggets were falling for it. So they were reaching too much. The Nuggets were getting too many hands in place, all kind of stuff. And then even the game started, man, when the Nuggets won the jump ball, and then KCP gets the ball taken and Bando gets a wide open transition dunk. And I'm like, oh, bro, they already started off the game. The Lakers are already turning the heat up. They're trying to make a message known. Like, look, bro, you beat us in the rebounding battle like crazy. And in the effort game, in the game one, not going to happen. But this game around, bro, the way they were coming out so physical. Now, Anthony Davis, not really offensively, but even defensively, he was playing really well. But, bro, I think Michael Porter Jr. got 2 fouls in the first quarter. I think it was Michael Porter Jr., KCP got 2 fouls in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And then it was Christian Brown got 2 fouls in the first quarter. And I'm just sitting here like, bruh, ain't no way y'all finna tell me are y'all trying to flex a game in Denver in game 2? But again, everything kind of settled down after that. It was tied. But, bro, like the Lakers defense was stifling.
Yeah.
Like they weren't letting the Nuggets get anything easy, and the Nuggets couldn't hit any of their tough shots early on.
Yeah, we talked about this in our last one for game one. Like, this is the type of game that if you are the Lakers, you have to win because you were able to kind of, imprint your will on the pace a lot more. The ticky-tack fouls were getting out of hand, bro. Like, one play in the third quarter, Jamal got called for a foul. I'm sitting there in Discord, right? We're playing it back. He literally did not foul, barely bumped. They called it on him. Like, that was the game from quarters 1 through 3, but the fortitude from Denver to not get too rattled and to just fight was good because the transition defense from the Lakers was absolutely atrocious, and you guys were able to get out in transition all night long. So you guys were able to fight yourself back into that game. But my goodness, there were so many like non-calls, not consistent calls on both ends. It was a terribly officiated game for sure.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this fast break thing. Gifted is funny because I hear a lot of national pundits like, ESPN, Fox Sports, but a lot of Lakers fans that are irate that Jokic is continuing to beat Anthony Davis up and down the court. And because people are saying, like, on television, Anthony Davis is more athletic. He's more physically imposing. He's a better athlete than Joker is. But, bro, it's like people just don't. That's what I mean. I just generally think people don't watch the Nuggets because there's no way that you can watch Jokic and say that he hasn't been one of the best transition bigs in the NBA the last 3 years. I mean, he knows that's the easiest way to get an easy shot because every time the Lakers shoot, Anthony Davis is trying to crash the boards to, again, win the rebounding battle. But if he misses the board, because he only had one offensive rebound, I believe, yesterday, literally as soon as Jokic, as soon as Murray, Porter, AG, Bruce Brown, as soon as they touch the ball, they are sprinting down the court.
Automatically, yep.
It's those points that are crippling the Lakers. The Lakers had a really good half-court defense yesterday, but so did the Nuggets, by the way. The Lakers had a really good half-court defense, but it's their transition that's killing them. And I don't know what the Lakers can do to fix that because the Nuggets have been doing that the entire year. So that's not – like sometimes when people say like – now, again, maybe Anthony Davis – so do the Lakers to stop that? Are they just going to have to concede like, hey, shoot the ball, and as soon as the ball goes up, just run back on defense? Do they try to – what would you do if you were Coach Ham when you're getting killed in transition that's clearly affected you in the first 2 games? Would you still want them to crash, or would you just say, "Bro, as soon as you shoot the shot, just get back on defense and call it a day, and then try to live another possession"?
It's such a tough spot to be in because game in, game out, Jokic is putting up 14 plus boards a game. I'm pretty sure he's in the 90th percentile in terms of defensive boards secured on the glass. And Denver just has length all over the place to try to crash on the glass. I think if you're the Lakers, it's really just the complaining because there were so many plays where they wouldn't get the rebound. They would talk to the refs about the foul, this or that. And then the next thing you know, Jokic is just throwing a steamer down the court. Bruce Brown is going all the way through. The poise and the execution of the Lakers in terms of what's happening after a shot goes up has to, at the very least, be consistent. You cannot let the calls and everything get to your head and you're not playing in the flow of the offense, because Denver didn't care. They get the board, they'd go. They were not pouting during the game. The body language from the Lakers was absolutely atrocious, and I feel like that gave up so many easy baskets for you guys in transition. I even have like the advanced stats here too, right? You guys were plus 5.9 points per possession in transition. You can't win like that.
Right. Yeah, plus 5.9. The Lakers were plus 2.7. But again, so let me ask you this. So I'm looking at the half court numbers.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets, they had a 91.6 half court offensive rating, which is obviously very bad for the Nuggets. The Lakers, though, had a 92.9 half court offensive rating versus the Nuggets. So when you hear this and when you watched the game yesterday, what do you attribute most of the Lakers' half-court struggles to? Is that just their offensive personnel, or do you feel like the Nuggets are doing something specifically to put them in a bind?
So there's a couple things. They settled a lot from the perimeter, and obviously, as we know, Anthony Davis did not have it going. LeBron took 7 threes, 0 for 7 for the game, and outside of the first half of the game, LeBron was not trying to score at the basket. So when you're not consistently just trying to get to the paint and play to your game, and you're taking all of these jump shots, obviously you're not going to have a strong conversion rate. But the number one thing, Swipa, is while that's true about the half court, the Lakers had to play a set defense 81.7% of their plays. Like that is not a winning formula for Lakers. They need to find ways to go against a defense that is not set, I would say.
Wow, yeah. So can you, and for people that might not be as aware of why that's important, can you explain why playing versus a set defense is so important and why it matters so much?
Yeah, well, if you have a player who is as good defensively as Anthony Davis, if the Lakers have a set defense, they're able to key in on your half-court actions a bit better. If it's not set, it's more so players have to like naturally know where to go and play off of instinct, which opens it up to score a lot more baskets. If you are the Lakers and you have so much shoddy guys who aren't great at perimeter shots and might not really give you much, the lion's share of your points need to be against a defense that is not set, and it would favor you more, especially if you are a team that is predicated on scoring a lot of points in the paint, getting downhill, and getting to the free throw line. A set defense makes it harder to achieve that.
Right. So I guess this is as good a time as any, bro, but can we have a conversation about Anthony Davis, please?
Can we do it, please? I've been waiting on this. Can we do that? Yes.
So you go ahead and open up. Can you explain? What is happening with Anthony Davis? How do you view his impact on the game on both sides of the ball in the first 2 games?
Okay, so I think Anthony Davis, before I get to his flaws, Anthony Davis's defense has been sensational every game in the playoffs. I think almost every game, no matter what has happened, he has been pretty good at that. The difference with Denver, though, is his defense is going to have to be more of a team perspective, because when he's been on Jokic has still been able to get exactly what he wants. But the issue is they need Anthony Davis to be the best Anthony Davis on both ends of the floor. In game 1, he had 40-something points, a bunch of free throws. In game 2, Denver made it naturally harder on him. He had many plays where he was trying to post up Jokic, and that 5-foot hook shot or floater was not falling, and he was taking a lot of perimeter shots more than game 1. He's not going to be able to be consistent on both offense and defense throughout the entire series. The defense I trust, but they need Anthony Davis to also be their best player and consistently contribute offensively at a high level. And we all know that, Anthony Davis is not a creator like Jokic. He's more of a play finisher type of big. So if he's not converting at that, it puts them in such perilous situations.
Yeah, man. I love, for instance, Jason Temp. I love Jason Temp. I think he's a great analyst. I've had him on the show twice. I follow one of my favorite follows on Twitter. He had a theory, before the series started that he thinks Anthony Davis is the best player in the world. Now, some of that's a personal thing because he thinks that, if you win a championship, you're a two-way player. Anthony Davis has had tremendous two-way value throughout this playoffs. I mean, you can arguably say he was the best player in the Memphis series and, best player, at least the most impactful player in the Warriors series. I'm not sure how you feel about best. I think obviously Steph was under a different kind of circumstances than AD was, and maybe if Klay Thompson or Jordan Poole could hit a shot, Steph wouldn't have been in the bind the entire series. That's another discussion. I to this day, I still think about that series and the last three box scores of Klay Thompson. So I think I think the thing about Anthony Davis, bro, is like, I don't get his motor. I guess that if that's the first thing, I don't understand what motivates him, because the 40 and 10 game, it didn't even feel like impactful. Like he was making jump shots, but it didn't feel like this is a transcendent player. It just feels like he's uber talented. He has this great physical profile, but he is not supposed to be the best player on a championship team in a traditional sense. And it feels like, because you just don't know when, where, and how he is going to be able to elevate you. And again, if you're not a playmaker gifted, again, you heard me say this multiple times, I don't think you can be the best player in the world and not be a top-level playmaker. And that's why, for me, LeBron has the best chance for them of being that role and being the best player night in and night out, just because of the fact that he's still creating opportunities for other people. And defensively, he was really good. LeBron was really good defensively for most of the game yesterday. But, yeah, man, it just feels like AD, man, like, he's really good as a help shot defender. But the Nuggets were 14 to 20 in the paint yesterday, Gifted. 14 to 20, 70%. So if that's the best part of their defense, it's not letting you get in the paint and score, then what's going on?
I feel like yesterday they pulled Anthony Davis out of the paint a lot more. I just feel like the issue with him was more so they weren't able to get great contributions from other guys. And if Anthony Davis, again, is going to shoot the ball as poorly as he did it's not good. And his motor, right? Like, I feel like sometimes what Anthony Davis is going to bring you offensively in the first quarter. Like, he had a pretty solid first quarter last game. It didn't feel like 40 points, but I wasn't surprised by it because he was getting what he wanted. Yesterday's game, it didn't seem as if he was that tapped in aggressively. He settled for some shots, and he didn't make his hook shot. And again, I respect what LeBron James does, but I do think LeBron at this age of his career, and especially all playoffs long, he has not been a great perimeter shooter, and he's not consistently getting to the basket as much. Now, obviously, he came into this with his foot not being all the way there. We know that, but consistently, AD is looked at to be their leading scorer and their best defender. And if AD falters in that regard, it puts more pressure on LeBron to have to do LeBron things, which he might not be equipped to do for a full 7-game series.
Yeah. Well, with that, bro, let's transition to game 3, because Jokic didn't get a mention, by the way, in the first 20 minutes. I didn't even talk about him a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
He had 23, he had 23, 17, and 12, and just was dominant. But it's just his 7 triple-double to playoff, his 4th straight, at least 4th straight 20-point triple-double, which is the best in NBA history. Gifted, I think that might be Joker's worst game of this series. But I think that might be it, though. I think that's the thing. I think if the Lakers were going to win a game, that might be the worst game you're going to get from him the entire series, and he was still very good. He just missed some of his shots. So, game 3, Gifted, what do you expect from the Lakers, from the Nuggets, and do you think that the Lakers are going to be able to put their best punch forward, and do you think the Nuggets are going to be able to withstand that? How do you even see the flow of that game going?
Well, coming into the series, I had Denver in these 2 games. I did not think that they would lose both games at home. I think this series is a testament to both teams being great at-home teams. I feel like Denver on the road hasn't been as consistent as they are at home, and I do believe that for Denver to win game 3, their role players are going to have to step up big. But I'm looking at Jamal Murray as well, because his worst games, even in the last playoff series, happened on the road compared to at home. And I think you're going to see better Jokic games on the road because his team is going to need him to be aggressive a lot more. I feel like Gordon looked a little lost out there in game 2. Game 3 could be a worse version of that. But I think for LA, down 0-2, your back is against the wall. And your duty in the playoffs, if you're a home game, is to win your home games. You don't get praised for that. You're supposed to do that. Road teams are coming in to steal it. Denver handle business. Now the question is, can the Lakers dial into their desperation and knock down perimeter shots and handle their business in game 3? I believe they can, because they're a better home team than they are on the road.
Yeah, so I think when I'm evaluating this, I'm listening to Coach Michael Malone. I'm listening to Jokic. I'm listening to Jamal Murray.
He had a legendary rant, by the way. I love Coach Malone's rant. That was A1. Outstanding.
Do you think he has a point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bro, literally in the space we did after the game, oh, the Lakers really blew this game. They should have. But Denver outright, took. Bro, Jamal had 23 points, 7 free throws, 6 of 7 shooting, and they survived the 9 Jokic minutes in the fourth quarter. So I'm not even mad at him for doing that. But I feel like as a coach, it's so genius to rally your team against these narratives, because that's the inside drive that puts a chip on your shoulder going into a game 3, going into a game 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I think the Nuggets, and I said this yesterday, I think the Nuggets are going to come out absolutely like with their hair on fire to try to win game 3, because I know they know the history, they know the stats, and I think the Lakers are going to throw their best punch. But here's the problem, Gifted. I don't know if the Lakers have the offensive ceiling to put the Nuggets away like that. Because when Devin Booker did it, Devin Booker had 47 points and 20 and 25 shooting, and they went off. KD had a good game. I think he had 29 or 39. He had
31 points on 12 or 31. I'm pretty sure in game 4. I think I'm not sure about. Sorry, game 3. Game 4 he shot. I believe he had 31 points on 19 shots, 11 of 19 shooting. I think I'm a nerd, so I think that's correct.
Yeah, and then the next game, in game 4, he had 36. That one he had 31. The game, I think it was game 2, he had 39, 9, and 8. I think that was his money line. Okay. But I think the thing is, in game 3, he had 71. Booker had 47. They had, 31-47. So they were absolutely dynamite. I don't know if the Lakers can do that. So my point is, and the Nuggets lost by 7 in that game. And they had a phenomenal shooting performance. So I think for me, bro, it's like the Jokic is going to travel. That's the thing. Jokic will travel. If Jokic
he's going to travel, yes.
That's the funny thing, right? Like if he travels and he's punching you in the face, because again, in game 3 last series, he had 30, 17, and 17. If you get one of those games in LA from Joker, yeah, man. So again, I think the Lakers can win. I think the Lakers will win one of these 3 and 4. I just don't. I think the Nuggets want to set a message. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. The Nuggets they don't like the Lakers. They've never liked the Lakers. The Nuggets have never liked the Lakers because they've had this history from Alex English and Kareem and Magic to Kobe and Carmelo Anthony, and then the 2020, their history. They don't have a positive relationship with the LA Lakers. Now the players, they're fine, but I think Malone is so hyper aware of this. Now, again, we'll see if they can muster up the energy to do it, but I think it's going to take a really good game from their stars. But I think Bruce Brown has to play well. I think Jeff Green needs to hit 1 or 2 shots. I think KCP needs to have a good game, which he can. I think Michael Porter Jr. needs to have a good shooting game. But again, that's the same thing with the Lakers. Like, who on the Lakers in that game, in game 3, will you trust to deliver? Because I think it's going to be LeBron. I know Austin Reeves, and Anthony Davis is probably likely due to have a good game as well. So I think those 3 players. But outside of that, is there anybody else that you would lean into? I guess Rui.
I think that's kind of where we're at here. This Lakers team made it to the playoffs off of their defensive identity and hoping that one of Reeves, D'Lo, or Dennis can give you a pretty good guard game. Hachimura was absolutely sensational in game 2, but I also feel like a lot of it was Denver was just giving up easy closeouts, easy cuts.
Right.
Does that intensity ease up at home? We're not sure. I do think that this is going to have to be a reliant Anthony Davis performance. He normally can bounce back after a bad game and put up good scoring numbers, but the team as a whole is going to have to muck the game up and make it as tough as game 2 was. But the stars have to perform. Bron and Anthony Davis, in order to win, their ceiling as a team is they both have to have a pretty solid offensive game if the role players aren't performing. I trust Austin Reeves, but everyone else is really mid. So we don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the defense is going to be hellacious, at least for a while. The Nuggets are probably going to have to do something to break through that ceiling, which they can. I think Joker's going to be more shot aggressive. I didn't love, like, some of his process. It's weird to say I didn't love some of his process. That wasn't it. But his shot, like, when he had a couple, like, of shots where he would, like, go up to shoot, and then he had this little, like, pause, and then he would shoot the ball like from 3 or something like that. And I just think like he just needs to be more decisive as a scorer, which he's going to have to be to put away this team in game 3. So, I mean, yeah, we'll find out. I think the Lakers, I think LeBron. But here's the thing, Gifted. LeBron has played 42 minutes and 43 minutes in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
1 day off.
Yeah. 1 day off.
And he turned his ankle, and he's already got a bum foot. Anthony Davis played 40 minutes again as well and has been getting beat up. LeBron guarded Jokic. Rui guarded Jokic and AD guarded Jokic, and the main 2 players have all played over 40 minutes, man. Do you think that physically they're going to be able to carry it into game 3, or do you feel like that's going to be like that's like the last dash? Like that game 3, they're going to put everything into game 3, and then maybe game 4 or game 5 they're going to kind of fall apart.
I think the minutes thing has been a thing, but at this point, you're literally at the final stage before the finals. It is what it is. Players have to go out there and play as hard as they can. LeBron is not going to have the same burst to me. I think he's going to play a more conservative game up until the 4th quarter. But that's why I put so much on Anthony Davis to be able to bridge that load, because he's younger and he's not as, hurt as Bron is, in my opinion. The hard part about it, though, is like playing those heavy minutes against a Nuggets team that just constantly is in actions, moving. The mental fatigue, like, it's funny, and I'm going to sound like a hater, but as a Warriors fan myself, going from a tough 7-game series against Sacramento and then having to play L.A., the attrition wore on as the series wore on. Right. I think for the Lakers, it's going to be more of the same. But for game 3 specifically, if you go down 3-0, the series is over. So I think their biggest punch is going to be in game 3, and whatever they have left, they will try to recoup and come back in game 4, in my opinion.
Why do you think the Lakers were able to beat the Warriors so handily?
Well, when Klay Thompson starts off every game going 1 for 7, Poole is unplayable, horrific defense all the way through, and they're basically running pick and roll for the entire game, and they're absolutely negative in the non-Steph minutes. The role player contributions were not as great, and Golden State also did not take care of home court. Denver here has taken care of home court, so now the pressure is solely on the Lakers. And if anything, I think Denver is playing with house money, which is even more dangerous. So I really want to see how this game 3 shapes out. But this Laker team is built on their defense, and I do believe that is going to be their primary focus mode of operation for game 3.
So for you, how do you feel like the series is going to go the rest of the way?
So my initial prediction was Nuggets in 6 or 7. I thought that this would be a longer type of series. And initially I predicted that both home teams would win their 4, like a more traditional playoff series. And then game 5 is really where all the marbles are at. And I think Denver is just not going to lose a home game of that magnitude in game 5 based off their talent. Because as the series progresses, they're going to get tired and more tired. And I think Denver just has too many punches and too many things that they can do. Their margin of error has more room to operate with than the Lakers. But I still believe LA is going to take both of these home games.
Woo, boy, man. Yeah. I pick Nuggets in 6, but I see a very clear pathway to Nuggets winning this in 5.
It's very clear, by the way. Yeah.
But it's not disrespect to LeBron or Anthony Davis, bro. It's just, man, like, if the Nuggets win one of these games in LA, which I think they will, then coming back to Denver, with Denver with the crowd, the momentum, for the first time, think about this. I want you to think about this. If they're up 3-1, they come back to Denver. The first NBA Finals appearance is on the line. Jokic is back at home. Murray, Porter, AG back at home. And everything, it was right in front of them to end, not only to beat LeBron and Anthony Davis, but to beat the Lakers.
And go to the finals off that too. Yep. In 5 games.
Oh, my gosh, bro. They might do what they did to Phoenix in game 6, bro. But, yeah, man, we'll have to see.
And that's why the Lakers have to handle business. Because, again, I want to say this right here. If Denver steals one game on the road, the series is done. And I think game 5 will be the burial ground for this Lakers team. But I truly believe it comes down to the execution. And also, if you're the Lakers, you have to win the 9 Jokic minutes. If you're losing the 9 Jokic minutes, the series is over.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll find out. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I think the Lakers are going to fight like dogs in game 3. We'll have to hear what everybody respond. Hey, Gifted, man, can you let the people know where they can find you, where they can get all your information, all your stuff, all your content, please?
Absolutely. I spent the whole day basically reworking these things. So I am a content creator. My name is Gifted. My YouTube is Gifted Hoops. I have a podcast also on Gifted Hoops. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere else. And on Twitter, I'm Gifted X Hoops. I just made a video breaking down game 2 of Denver on my YouTube channel. So go give that some support, but I'm grinding. Everywhere, Gifted Hoops, you should be able to find me.
Bet. Y'all, hey, shout out to y'all, Swipa Gang. Shout out to y'all on Gifted side. Shout out to y'all on the Mile High Sports side. Man, the Nuggets, they are moving. They are grooving. They look really good right now. We'll see if they can hold up. If they can keep up this energy, keep up this momentum, y'all. Hey, hit that button, hit the like button. Tell people where you like getting your favorite NBA content. Let the people know. Hey, y'all know what time it is. Saturday, ABC. Hey, we see y'all tomorrow. See y'all soon, y'all. We out. Stay blessed, everybody.